Oh, sorry guys. You caught me paying my bills. I just remembered I had to pay this because it's due today, and your boy doesn't want to get his electricity shut off during the show, right? What's up, Rockstar? Welcome back. This is Thursday. I know that you weren't supposed to show up till 5:55 Central today, but some things have happened. We needed to change early, but those of you who are joining us at 5:55, welcome back to the review or the rewatch. Once again, I am Josafat Emiliano, and this is Hey Rockstar, a storytelling platform where we share powerful stories that inspire you to grow physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, and financially. Miguel's back there just chilling, getting ready for the show because he's excited. He's excited for today's episode 34, and it is an interview with a rock star. Guys, I got to tell you something. You know, I know that one of our key points is to grow socially, which means build great relationships, grow friendships, and just people that we interact because life is about dealing and working with people, growing with people, helping others, getting helped by others, just interaction. So people are supposed to be a part of your life. I get it. Some of you would say, I can live all my days without having to deal with others. But let me just tell you, life is a lot better when you find good people. Now, speaking of good people, every now and then you'll find some friends. They come into your life and then they go. And there's nothing wrong because we always go through moments of change. We go through different phases in our lives, whatever. But it's a true friendship when, even though you haven't seen each other for a while, they invite you to their wedding. And then, of course, you make everything you can to go show up. But anyway, this next rock star is someone that I met back when I lived in Dallas, Texas. And we've gone our separate ways. I came to Nashville, and she's gone off to do some amazing things. This next rock star, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, she is an up and coming rock star to begin with. A singer, songwriter, an actress, a model. Although she's told me not to say that, but it's she's a model. I've seen some of her work. Actually, I've seen some of her work around Nashville. And I remember I took a picture of something, sent it to her. She goes, "Wow." She goes, "I should have got paid way more for that than what they paid me." Anyway, when I get to that, we all learn from the beginning. We all learn every now and then. I hope I didn't just soil the show with that story. But anyway, but also she has become a social media sensation. Get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, and help me welcome Molly May Rockwell. Welcome to the stream, Molly.
Hi, Hosa.
So good to see me, right?
It is so good to see you. I think the wedding was the last time, so
Yeah.
thanks for showing up.
No, it was a pleasure. It was an honor, and thank you for picking like a killer track to dance to. I mean, I remember having so much fun, and with a few of the people that I remember from that night, and I met a lot of other new friends.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Oh man, but I wish I could say I'd followed your career religiously, but that'd be borderline stalking, right?
Yeah, I'm
No,
probably a little
but
boring.
I do. Oh, every now and then things would pop up, and I'm like, "Hey, that is cool." Or you would share some of your successes, and I was happy because of where we're going from or where you've come from. And you know what? I'm not gonna talk about that. Molly, if you would just to fire off the show, just tell us a little bit about your journey and where you're at today.
Ooh, okay. So um, my career kind of got started about when we met. I was going through a talent showcase thing. That's how me and Hosa met. And I had always wanted to sing. I had always wanted to perform, but I've also always been like a little shy wallflower. Couldn't even order my own food off the kids menu. Um, and so I went through this talent showcase to try and really kickstart a singing career. Um, and through that, I met a lot of people who were kind of going through the same thing and wanted that life, and I had never been surrounded by that before. Um, and when you're surrounded by people who want the same thing as you, it's so encouraging. I feel like it's almost the best career booster because you can help build each other up, encourage each other when you're going through the same things of doubt of why you're doing it, or like they'll cheer with you in your successes, even if it seems like a small success to like the outside world. They're more likely to understand that it could be a big deal to you. But anyway, so I went through that, and through that process, I realized that I loved acting. After the showcase, I signed with my agent, um, and that kind of really changed things for me. It it made things more confusing. Having more than one thing that you love makes things a little harder. But again, then I got involved with an acting class, an acting community, and that's been so helpful in terms of just realizing, oh, it's normal to only have maybe one audition in a month. It's not just me. Or it's normal to have 15 in 1 week and have to deal with that, or just, the different craziness of it. Um, and and then when the pandemic hit, I'm fast forwarding through a lot of things.
Hey, oh,
The
don't worry. I'm taking mental notes. I'll be jumping back to where we need to.
okay. The pandemic hit, and it's like the two things I love to do that are so important to me, acting and singing, are like the first things that are like wiped out. It's like, oh, you don't need to be entertained right now. You need to stay home. And it's like, of course, you need to stay safe. What am I going to do though? I'm not Taylor Swift to put on a virtual concert and sell tickets. I play in places around town and people come that way. So I was like, I'm not performing anywhere. Nothing is filming. Time to pivot. And I didn't know what that looked like at first. So I kind of got a little lost. I got my yoga teacher certification, which have not used once. Um, it's fine, something in the pocket for maybe a role in the future. Nothing is wasted.
Nothing.
But then I read a story about a girl who played her song on her TikTok, and then it went viral, and she started charting on iTunes. And I was like, that probably doesn't happen often, but there's no one telling me it's not going to happen again. So I was like, I'm going to join TikTok. We'll just see what happens. So I started posting like some songs, and then I'd never been on TikTok before I joined it. I hadn't watched them. I didn't know what was happening.
I gotta pause. Don't lose your train of thought,
Okay.
because we're starting to get a lot of comments. Of course, at the
Oh,
beginning we had Greg Ferguson, a good friend of mine. He's been on the show up in Little Rock, Arkansas. Um, he says I'm here, and of
hi,
course he
Greg.
jumped on to YouTube from there to say Molly, welcome.
Oh,
But
thank
do you know who this is by any
I
chance?
do,
Ah.
Rebecca. So,
I've been following her on her Twitch stream. Whenever usually she gets on and streams whenever I'm editing like podcasts such, and I'll have it on, and she'll say something funny or silly, and I'll just comment. But she's really been going on about your TikToks, and we talk
oh,
about that too, because we just love where you're going with this. Uh,
so sweet. No,
so
I just filmed one the other day wearing a sweatshirt that she bought me about 100 years ago. So,
all right, so let's go
okay.
back to you were watching this person who made it big on TikTok, and it
Yeah,
got you thinking.
yeah. So I heard that story. So I joined TikTok, never having watched it or been on it, and I was like, I'm just going to be TikTok famous. That's the plan now. You got to have a plan, Jose.
I'm
Um,
just I'm
so
just shotgunning everything.
so so I posted, a video of me singing an original song. I posted a video of a cat. I was trying to come up with funny skits with songs. Um, and then one day I had to get my license renewed. I went to the DMV, and my GPS was being so stupid, and it wouldn't like get me out of the parking lot. It made me go on the toll road. And I was like, I'm just going to do an impression of how I think my GPS is. She's just like rude, and she doesn't care about me. So I made that video. I made a couple of other videos. 2 weeks later, that video took off. Oh, someone's at the door. Not my house, not my responsibility. Um, but it is kind of loud and long. Um,
Streaming Rainbow just said, "Yes, I saw the video with the sweatshirt. I was kind of proud." I
Yeah.
forget. People who listen on the podcast can't read the comments,
Oh,
so I
okay.
got to read them out loud. But go on.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Um,
DMV.
so then 2 weeks later, for some reason, that one had started taking off, and my phone was just blowing up all of a sudden. I was like, "What's happening?" And all these notifications, it hit like 100,000 views, and at that point, all my other videos had like 200 views. So I was like, "This is wild." Um, and it's funny because sometimes the universe just tells you what you need to do. And so I after that I was like, okay, people like this. So I just started doing a couple more of those along that style. And it just kind of took off. And this past week I hit 110,000 followers.
Wow.
And people have been like kind of jumping over onto my other socials, and it's just been really cool. Like they're like, it's like a small family, or like a really big one, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way. But it's just been really cool because like they're very supportive, to the point where yesterday or 2 days ago, someone copied one of my videos word for word, literally word for word, posted it. It didn't credit me at all. And all my fans went over and were like, Molly, 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 like tagging me. I was like, thanks, guys. Thank you
Got
so
you.
much. It was wild. So anyways, so that's where I am now, but I'm still singing, I'm still acting. I've started having a couple of gigs again opening up now, that we've got, COVID dying down, and I've been acting more. I just had I got to audition for a CW show the other day, which was like really cool for me. And it was a singing role. I was like, this is like the dream, So.
I never would have taken you for the shy type. From day one that I met you, it was at that little. Was it a prayer meeting that we went to, or a Bible study that we met at originally? Of that composed of actors and singers and people in that industry. And a few of us went out to just hang out. I think we went for nachos or something. I don't remember.
Probably
But
IHOP.
was either
I
IHOP
don't
or
know.
Taco Bell? But
Yeah.
it was one of those two. We went out and just something about you, because you had a very dry sense of humor. Maybe that's what was your shyness, or maybe you're just trying to be serious, but you try to come off as serious, but like I could sense the humor in it, and I'm like, all right, I can have a lot of fun with this person, because I can get away with like just being myself, because being a pastor's kid, I have a dark sense of humor, and I felt like you could run with that sometimes, because so we have a lot of mutual friends, and some of them just couldn't take certain jokes, but no, it's just I never would have assumed that you considered yourself shy. I mean, you were always just
I
naturally.
I think it matters who you're around, Like I said, if it's people who are like who get you,
Hmm.
then it's easier to kind of come out because um like I was around a big group of people a couple of weeks ago, and I swear if you ask any of them, they'd be like, Molly doesn't talk. Molly just sits there, which is in that case, it is true because they're they're good people. But if they don't like get you, it's harder to be you.
That's fair.
So I'm not naturally extroverted, so I think I have to be around my people to have that come out of me.
All right, then we did good, y'all. The Dallas crew, we did good to get Molly to come out of her shell around us back, at least when I was there. And I needed you guys also, because the place, that house, remember that pool party when I used to live there? It was not a very good environment for me. But whenever you guys showed up, y'all just made my day for me at that one party that Streaming Rainbow and I talk about all the time when we drank. I call it hot tub water. I don't know what it was in that drink that our friends were passing around, but we had too much fun. that day or that evening.
I
All
forgot
right, so
about
let's go back to how it all started. I mean, we're gonna talk about TikTok or maybe some more,
that.
because I actually someone here, what did he post? What did he post? Oh yeah, Greg Ferguson. He posted, "I'm ready to learn the error of my ways on social media." So if you can come up with any kind of tactics or any kind of abilities, but let's talk about your journey getting there.
Sorry, I just found the comments. I was like, where's he seeing those? I just found them. Hi,
Okay.
Michael.
Oh yeah, I'm about to. I can go actually start highlighting some. So right here we have Michael Wags.
That's my buddy.
Hi Mike. Hi Molly. Love you. And of course streaming Rainbow. Right now she's driving, so she can't really be texting us.
Oh,
So happy and proud of you, Molly.
thanks, Bex.
Streamy5 lovey poop.
That's so funny.
Um. Oh, I didn't do that one. Oh, I guess he just does it naturally. Michael
Interesting.
says hello. Welcome you
Technology.
all to the to Hey Rockstar. But so Molly, I'm thinking back to moments because like when I left Dallas, because I left just because I needed to get out of Texas, and actually like you, in that same event where you met your agent, I had ran into a group, what do they call, a management group that was interested in me as a talent in Atlanta. So I was making my way to Atlanta, but I stopped here in Nashville. And 5 years later, I still haven't been to Atlanta. Anyway, Nashville's where I'm at now, and things have turned out pretty good for me as of now, uh,
Love it.
without 2020. But anyway,
Put that aside.
but I would always revisit. Man, I wonder if we can talk about this. I wonder if they're even going to watch this show. But I remember the last time we shared a set was a short film.
Oh God.
Okay, so do you remember what I'm talking about?
No.
It never was released. That's just
Oh,
it.
was it
You,
the like time one?
yeah, the Time
Okay.
Jumper or Time Traveler or whatever it's
Yeah.
called. I'm sure I'm butchering the name.
What a great
Actually, Streaming Rainbow was there too. Um, she was the assistant director,
blast
or
hat.
director assistant. I don't know whatever titles they gave, but earlier when I was doing the introduction, like some friends will invite you to their weddings, and you'll even have the chance to be at their funeral. But I'm like, no, people might not get that because there was a funeral in this
My
short film
funeral.
where we had your picture there. But anyway, at that moment, if you can remember that time in history, could you tell us exactly, were you finding success in acting, or I know musically you and your father were doing some coffee shop performances, and I was able to catch one, maybe two of them. Uh, let's go one step at a time. I want to know about your struggles at that point in your life. Were you ever tempted to just give up? And I'm talking about the time when you're working at the one hotel and you're living at that one little apartment or whatever it was that you were living at, some hole in the wall.
Yeah. Um, I I don't think I've ever felt like I wanted to give up.
Good.
I think a lot of times when I've felt discouraged, it's like more of a why is this so hard?
Mm,
um, because for me, it's it's not like it is a job, it's a career, but it's almost like a calling. Like I can't see myself doing anything else. And like I do other things. Like I have side hustles or whatever. But to me, that's what those are. Um and they're bearable because they make it so that I can do what I love. And to me, um success can be measured in financial, but success is just knowing that I'm doing it, um, and that I'm enjoying it. If it gets to be where it's not enjoyable, then it's not successful. Um, like I, I'm in a weekly acting class, so I get to act every week. So I might not get paid for it. I might have to pay for it, but I'm acting every week, and I get to act with amazing people in my class. So it's if you consider, most people would not consider that a success. That's just taking a class. But I'm doing what I love, and I think that's what's important. And it's funny because like with TikTok, you know, I'm having success with TikTok. Um, but sometimes it sucks. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like the comments can be 90% wonderful. It's that family, it's the people so being supportive. And then there's not even 90, like 99%. But having one person come in and just like troll, say something like horrible, then you're like, why did I open myself up to this? It kind of takes a second to like, you have to refocus and be like, that person is terrible. So not my business what they're saying anyway. My brain hurts. I forgot where
No,
I,
no. Well, I was about to comment. Right now, you just dropped some, I call it Rockstar Gold. Whenever you drop out moments of value, that as long as you are doing what makes you happy, you're already succeeding. Like, success can't be measured in money so much. I mean, for some it is, but for others, it's you find that joy in doing and providing that whatever service that you're providing. For you, it is entertaining, it is acting, it is bringing that creative side of you and inspiring others to just like take a moment to recognize, because honestly I never would have had that conversation with my cell phone. Like, GPS, come on, what's going on? And but I relate to the fact that I've had those moments where the GPS is taking me to who knows where. I'm like, that's not where I want to go. Which is that recent one that I saw, because I know TikTok, it doesn't throw the recent ones, it just throws random ones at you. And there's one where or the grocery store one, was that a recent one or was that a while back,
um
where they were
I
sending you to like another state.
oh yeah. That one was a long time ago and it was also yesterday.
Oh, so you redid it?
Someone copied it.
Oh, gotcha. Maybe that's why it But your original one came on,
Oh,
and yeah, you were asking GPS and like, well, there's one 2 miles away, there's one half a mile away, and then there's one in I forgot what state it was.
Omaha.
Oh my! And I was like, yes, that's happened to me before. So I love, you know. Can I ask, how's the creative process for that, or do they just hit you on a whim?
Um, Sometimes it's suggestions. I do take screenshots of suggestions for if I run out of ideas. But most of the time, oh, there's a butterfly. Most of the time,
You're so random. I love it.
it was cute. Um, if something annoys me with technology or if something seems weird to me, I try and figure out how to turn it into a skit because my ultimate goal, not
Mm,
only, I mean, making people laugh, that's great. But if I can turn something
I
that was
like this.
annoying into something that makes you laugh, next time it happens, maybe you'll be less frustrated. And that's what I want to do. I love if I can make people's lives funnier, even when they're not watching me.
That is that is gold. That's a skill that most people need to have. I mean, I kind of do the same thing, but not in that. Well, actually, it is kind of humorous. For example, if I'm driving and someone just drives and cuts me off, instead of getting mad at them, I say something like, "God bless them so much that they don't ever have to drive again." Someone else can drive for them and keep them off the steering wheel, kind of situation. Instead of
Yes,
getting mad at them, I'm over blessing them so they don't need to
yes.
be in my way anymore, kind of situation.
Yes,
But
I actually made a TikTok off of a similar situation. It wasn't like a skit, but I put on an accent and I was like, whenever someone cuts me off or like whatever it is, I just imagine that they have to go to the bathroom really, really bad so that I don't
bless your heart.
scream. Yeah.
That's hilarious. But yeah, bad drivers all around us.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. All right, so no, TikTok's some good stuff, and you know, right now, when we were talking, I was looking at mine. Like, I wonder how many I've gotten, maybe 5 views or something. And actually, there's one that's had 700 views,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know about this. And there's one that I was actually promoting one of the shows that I had going on. I just jumped on
Nice.
and promoted it. I think it's, oh, I know which one it is. I was promoting the barbecue, small town Texas barbecue guy. And he has his own following. He's a YouTuber, and his show's pretty good too. And I promoted his show on TikTok, and I think he has one too. So maybe that's why I got so many hits, because he probably promoted also. I don't
Yeah.
know. Either way, it's there. And I do have
Love to see it.
plans for Miguel. I gave him a voice, and it just came naturally to me, that voice. And so I want to start using him to kind of start answering people randomly on TikTok with the monkey, because it's a puppet. It's not just a stuffed monkey. It's an actual little hand puppet.
I'm here for this.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. But I see some of your stuff, like, dude, I would love to, like, just one of these days just have a either duet or do a stitch and throw in something that Molly has. But we'll talk about that eventually once I get other things. But my whole goal for TikTok is to promote Hey Rockstar. Hey Rockstar is value, is giving people just moments to inspire them to go and become the rock stars of their industry. And so I figured if I could do that and then like throw in Miguel, and I have a persona. Did you ever see Texie Bear? He's my panda persona.
I don't know. Like it kind of sounds familiar.
Okay, guys, I'm to give you all the tricks of the trade here. So I bought some special shades for the panda bear, because the whole rock star mindset is the shades.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing it
Go
since
get mine.
I had this one uh, ballerina, a Lily, and so I got these little star looking shades for the panda bear, because it's a panda hat, and of course I probably put a little face makeup, and I'll be wearing these shades as part of, you know how pandas have the little black eyes, whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be part of the persona of Rockstar, but he's Texie Bear and Miguel, and I kind of want to do skits with them too, and so I want to do like fun stuff with them to get people like, what's going on? What's this crazy dude? But then also when they come to, they'll have little bits of value and little bits of just good stuff. I don't just want to be funny. I want to be
Yeah.
positive. But anyway, sorry. I love to do this. I love to just kind of take away the show from you and come back to me.
I like that.
We need to go to you, Molly. Actually, after I've completed 1 year with Hey Rockstar in September, it would have been 1 year. Instead of doing interviews with rock stars, I'm gonna start calling them conversations with a rock star. That way, it's gonna be a give and take. So I
Yeah.
start bringing people in, and we're just gonna talk about random topics and bring back guests. Because from now on, Molly, you are part of the Rockstar Network from this moment on.
And then the
So,
third year, you bring in rock stars and they interview you.
oh, already thinking that far ahead, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see now. You know what? Here's a question that I have. What unexpected surprises have happened that have led you to a favorable outcome?
Well, I mean, just the first video kind of that went viral, that was completely a surprise for me, and it turned it more from I'm kind of just doing this TikTok thing for fun into, oh, this might be something that is really happening. So I kind of started focusing more on it. But then, like, when things started happening, like Jenny McCarthy follows me, which I think is super cool. And so does Danica McKellar. And she like comments on my stuff. But I have a couple of friends now that are like big time TikTokers,
Nice.
and they like one of them, she writes for Funny or Die, and she wrote an article about me for Funny or Die, and that was something that I was like, this is like a real thing that I've heard of, and they're talking about me. It was just cool. I was like, even if this is like as far as this TikTok thing goes, this was a cool experience. I don't know. And like getting featured on Access Hollywood's Instagram page, I was like, this is this is something I might tell my grandkids about. I don't know. So it's for me, my career has, from the start, I started with singing, and from then on, everything that I've done has just kind of been like something that's not been part of the plan.
Mm.
And it's been amazing. Like I wouldn't change any. I never thought I would be an actor, and I love it. I think I'm a better actor than I am singer, honestly, but I'm not going to stop singing because it's my first love.
Don't stop singing.
And then I never thought I'd be like a social media influencer. Like I've posted sponsored posts. Like, who am I? I never thought that would happen, but it's been so cool, and the people I've gotten to meet through it, and yeah, I mean, I lost my one of my survival jobs, and I was unemployed for a couple of months, but I had a couple of sponsored posts on TikTok that made me more money than my other job did, and I was like, this is
Wow.
cool. How did this happen?
No, that's awesome. No, I mean, I got an email from Avantari Watches, and they want to do some kind of what's the word? That's new to me. This is all new to me for people
Oh,
to
like
affiliates and
a
such like that.
collab?
Yeah, a collab affiliate, and they said for any, I get percentage of anything that sells through. But I kind of just want to take their deal to get like a really good watch for like. It's a really good deal what they're giving me, almost like 75, 80% off or
I've
a nice watch.
I've had a couple of those, and I'm like, I'm just gonna use your deal. I'm gonna buy my things
Yeah,
and go.
that's what I'm probably. Well, I mean, I'll take a few pictures and show off because I like
Yeah,
watches, and so I'm like, cool. I don't mind it if you're gonna give me something cool like that for dirt cheap. Let's try it out. So
let's
I
try.
think that's pretty cool. And if anything does sell, I get something.
We love
But
it.
no, it's all new to me. And what I'm getting from this is you've learned the art of adaptability. Is this true?
Yeah, I think that is definitely true. I adaptability and just, am I about to be redundant?
I don't
um,
know.
just just working with what you've got, and kind of uh, yeah. I'm not
You
gonna
don't want to
pretend
say
like
that?
I have anything to add.
No, no. Well, I think I know where you're going with, and this is the one thing that a lot of people who have gifts or they have an idea or something, they're very scared because they think to themselves, am I enough or do I have what it takes to do it? And they honestly don't know unless they launch out and they try it and they take that risk of embarrassing themselves or the funny thing that I've learned is when you're finally given the shot and you jump in, you realize you actually have more than what it took to perform the task, to entertain, to be the star.
Yeah,
And you're like, wow, this is me. I actually could do this. But you don't know until you take that leap of faith and
absolutely.
give it your shot. Take your shot. But all right, so music. I never thought I'd hear Molly say that she thinks she acts better than she sings.
It's because I train. I train in one and not in the other. Go figure.
You know, I feel that. The other day, and of course, we're bringing the story back to me now.
Let's do it.
We had a small group I go to. They did a karaoke night, and remember last time we went to a karaoke night? Streaming Rainbow does. Did you ever go to one with Streaming Rainbow? A
I don't
karaoke with her?
I don't think we ever did karaoke together, did we?
No, we never sang together, but we did. She did a karaoke night once at her house with some game. Y'all, she threw a party in her apartment, and a lot of us
Oh,
showed up. Don't worry, don't worry, don't
I
worry.
think that was the day that she gave me that hoodie.
Could be the classic hoodie. But anyway, I've never been a fan of karaoke, but it's been forever since I've actually sang just to sing. Or actually, like here, there's people who don't even know that I have that ability or even play that a musical instrument. And I just went up there and I forgot what song it was. Oh yeah, Photograph by Ed Sheeran. And they have that falsetto part, and I'm like, I can do falsetto. But something happened, and the guy who was hosting this at this house party, he actually had a little hazer machine, and he forgot about it, and he happened to turn it on when I was singing. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna play the part, and I turned around, had my back to the crowd, and just like as the haze was filling the stage, and I just kind of put my hand up, like I was about to turn around slowly, and I just performed it, and you start with that loving can hurt, but then when you hit the first falsetto, but you can keep me. And falsetto for me is always easy because I can always do the runs, the ooh kind of situation.
Mhm.
And I kept hearing people like, whoa, whoa. And afterwards, people came up to me and who had known me from other stuff because at my church, I do a lot of directing with video. I'm one of the directors who directs the online the visual effects. So that I'm constantly working with cameras and such and getting that going, and they just assumed that's what I'm good at. That's what I went to school for. And like, I didn't even go to school for that. I had a good eye, and they had a need. I jumped in and helped them out. And afterwards, one came up to me and they're like, "I got to ask you this. do you sing professionally? And I just kind of laughed, like, well, I used to back in the day, but I haven't done it in years. Years, Molly. I think last time that I even attempted to do something, we actually had a phone conversation, you and I. I'm not sure if you remember this, because a music group had reached out to me, and I remember you recorded with them your first album with them, I believe,
Mm,
and they were reaching out to me like, hey, we want to know if you're interested in recording an album, and I asked for your information or for your advice. I'm like, hey,
yeah.
I don't even know what to do. I don't even know if I should say yes or no, take this contract. And the funny thing is, they wound up sending me a contract, and I appreciate all the advice you gave me and your insight, and you were honest, and you told me how you felt about the results that you got and how where you saw that I would be. And I had a lawyer friend at the time who kind of read the contract and he goes, dude, all this stuff they're offering you, he goes, you have friends who could do the same thing for you. And like, you're right. So I wound up not taking their deal, just
Nice.
kind of going my way. But you said something earlier that I wanted to camp on. Uh, but this is the Molly May Rockwell. I almost wore the T-shirt. I think I still have it. The Molly May
Oh,
rocks. Molly May Rockwell. Rocks well.
my
Molly
pun
May Rockwell.
shirt.
Huh?
My pun shirt. I before you go to whatever's next, I just wanted to say that reminded me of something that's funny with my TikToks is that every once in a while I post a singing one and people will comment on them and be like, "Oh my gosh, you can sing. You should sing." And I'm like, "I do." Like it's the first thing listed on my bio is it says singer-songwriter. I'm like, "This comedy thing is a fluke." I
It's a
was like,
fluke.
"This is what I do."
I'm a singer, y'all. I'm an entertainer. That's what it is. I'm a rock star. I just tell everyone I'm a rock star. Uh, who was it who was saying oh, someone commented once, you're a legend, and like, no, I'm just a rock star kind of situation. But where was I going with this? I don't know. There's so many things that we can chat and reminisce on. But I know that you have an appointment coming up here pretty soon. Um, so before we jump into this, let's just go in and ask the questions that I like to ask at the end of every talk. The first one being, and of course, if something pops up, we might just go on that tangent. But it, what disciplines or habits have become canon in your day to day?
Yeah, so I'm a little chaotic. I have intentions of doing these things every day, but sometimes I'm tired and sometimes life throws curves balls,
Yes, curves.
curves balls.
Balls
Um,
that are curvy.
but my intention for every day, and I've been pretty good about it, um, is I have a notebook. Are you familiar with the Artist's Way?
That does sound familiar.
Okay, it's a book, and it's for all types of artists. But there's different practices. It's like a 12-week journey, and you do like 1 week of this reading, and then they have you do this thing called morning pages.
I'm looking it
And
up.
basically you just free write brain dump into a notebook for 3 pages. It takes a long time to do, so I do 1 page. But basically, I have this notebook and I do 1 page of just dumping things out of my brain.
Mm.
And then I do another page. I come up with three or four affirmations and fill the whole page with them. And then I try and meditate. And I've noticed that if I'm not keeping up with these things, I get into a bad headspace. It's like I'm more negative. I'm more jaded. I'm more like likely to fixate on like what a troll says or something. But if I'm in my morning pages and I'm in my meditation, then I'm freer. And one of my one of my mantras is things work out for me.
Mm.
And so I try that usually shows up at least once a week in my affirmations. But I've noticed that when I'm more grounded, things work out for me more.
That's the secret, right? You tell the universe what you want. Everything works out for me. And of course, there's a promise in the book of promises all things work together for good.
Hmm.
And for those who love him and are called accordingly. But no, you said that I cannot stress enough. Was it last show? Last show, it was a dating coach, but his first thing that he did was meditation, and that's kind of what I brought him on because he introduced himself as a meditation coach. First time I met him, and like, dude, he goes, but also help men with their dating advice. Like, well, I'm good on that area, but I want to talk more about meditation because that's been something that's been big for me. I've had breakthroughs because of my meditation time. I've had, and actually, if you knew this, I've been working on launching my keynote speaking full time. And in my talk that I was stuck on this talk they were asking me to come up with, and I've been changing so much. But finally, I went back and just did my meditating and like, wait a minute, that's what I need to kind of throw. That's what was missing on here. The element is the time that I meditated to get the answers that I need to go forward with a life plan. So basically, I help midlife professionals navigate through change whenever life plans just don't work that way or miss or stop working, and so that they can now become the rock star of their industries. And so that has been just a key component because growing up, and I know you grew up in a church household too. Meditation had a negative, not a negative, but it was limited to only their way of meditating, which is just quoting scripture or thinking about scripture, which isn't bad or wrong in and of itself. But there's a lot more to meditation. So if you don't mind me harping or larping, not larping, harping on this, um, what meditation tips can you give my audience?
Ooh, um,
Because honestly, what works for me probably doesn't work for you, or what works for you probably doesn't work for me. But or maybe I haven't tried out your style.
I just have to make sure there's no distractions. Like I was trying this morning, and my
But you got
cat
cats. Good luck
my
with
cat
that.
can open doors. Yeah. So
I saw that video.
he came in and was like, "You're done." Um, but anyway, so being somewhere, I'm best laying down because I feel like if I shut my eyes and I'm sitting up, then I'm gonna tip over or something. But laying down, and I feel like I've reached a good place when I'm not like thinking about what my hands and feet are doing. Like if they're basically um, non-issues. um, but yeah, getting distraction free and then just focusing on your breath. Thoughts are going to come in, um, but that's fine. Just don't dwell on them. And then I really love a guided meditation. I've done a couple of different ones that I really like, but LARP away. Don't let anybody hate on your passions. um, yeah, so I think it's just really being able to be in a place of no distraction and comfortable.
Oh, my style's different now. I mean, I have my morning meditations where I'm just as best I can. I usually sit. I have this wind chair by my table. I'll start my tea process, and then while the tea is just doing its seeping, I would just take moments to just kind of. I'll ask questions, and then I'll just let my mind be clear and try my best not to let any thoughts in, or if they come in, just like blow them away until I'm ready to. All right, and then when I take that first sip, like, all right, now what you got? And some good ideas pop up, sometimes nothing, and it's
Yeah.
okay. But it's definitely been a powerful, powerful time. And another thing I shared with my guest last week. One thing that I notice is when I drive or when I used to do long drives, and I'm one of those weird guys who likes to drive without music, without like the radio or anything, just listen to the rhythm of the road, as B.B. King put it in his biography. You just hear the dun, dun, dun. And while
Mhm.
I'm there, although I'm conscious of everything I'm driving, it's like I'm in a meditative state where I'm free to just not think. I mean, I can drive, but I'm not like letting anything. And then finally, I can some good ideas pop up during that time. I don't know. It's just very different.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of
hey.
the things I also like to do is like whatever affirmations I've written down,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll just let those marinate like over and over and over in my head
That's
too.
good. Spectral Bonsai also says also +1 for the artist's way. Maybe he's the one
Yeah.
who told me about this. I need to bring him on the show with another guest because we've been talking about a lot of things in other areas, other fields. I'm not gonna get too deep into the conversation because that's gonna be a whole can of worms, and I don't want to distract everyone from Molly May Rockwells, and you know why I keep saying Rockwall because I used to live there,
The city.
the city. Uh, what I was gonna ask? Oh, okay. So next question on this questionnaire that I sent you, or
That
no,
I
the,
definitely looked over and prepared for.
no worries. No, no, no. Like I told you, my whole point now for this show is to talk about you and your journey, your ups, your lows, and whatever value you've learned to share. And you dropped some really good gold already, um, that my audience can take and run. So, oh, speaking on that, that's the question I like to ask. So, what little bit of advice could you share with my audience? Give them, or what little advice or tip or just practice can they start doing that will help them become eventually the rock stars of tomorrow?
Gratitude. I feel like gratitude is everything. Because if you're not grateful for what you have, then do you deserve more?
Hmm.
Um, I don't. I think I have a couple of gratitude books that I work in. I don't necessarily do them every day, but I think gratitude is the key to any sort of hope for manifesting good things. um, but then also, like in a very practical sense, just keep working at it. Um, like for the sun
I
is
just saw
that
that. I mean, I
whoa.
felt it from here. That's the Texas heat, y'all. Woo. Wait,
Woo!
you're still in Texas, right?
Yeah. Um, just keep working at it. Like I was saying about how I'm a better actor than singers because they work at it every week. Or like with TikTok, it's kind of like a shotgun. You put out as many as you can, and something will hit.
I gotta ask you this now. My schedule here is so tight that I can't just do it on random. Do you like set a day to just do like a few of them and then just release them casually, or do you just like as they come up, you let's get it done?
um, I'm kind of a little bit of everything. Oh, here we go. That's better. Um, in a perfect world, I would I would knock out 7 in one day. Um, but sometimes my brain is like, it's too hard
Mm,
to film a TikTok and put it together to do that 7 times in one day.
I bet.
So, like, I went on vacation last week. I filmed 5 before and kind of put them out each day. Um, but most of the time, I'm also very impatient. So as soon as I film one, I want to get it out. I'm like, people need to see this. This is great.
Love my baby. Have my baby. Look at my baby.
Yes, exactly that.
You're not narcissistic at all, Molly.
No, this is so funny.
You better laugh. Oh, oh, that reminded me of a tweet you put out. I also follow your Twitter.
Oh, my Twitter's the funniest thing I do. I'm sorry.
No, but there was something, and I actually had to look it up because I've had heard the word, but I didn't know what it was. But you mentioned like guys who think women are not funny are incels or something like that. You tweeted
Oh,
that one time. I'm like, what does that mean?
yikes. That was
And
probably one of the meaner ones.
oh, that was all right. Once I read it, I started laughing. Like that's hilarious.
That was when I was not in my meditation. Some trolls on TikTok that were like, "Why are you even trying? Women aren't funny." And I was just like, "Oh God, give me peace."
I think that guy was just what's the other word? I've been learning. Okay, so after talking to the guy from last week and there's some other people in that I forgot what it's called, pickup world, whatever. They I learned a lot of terms like guys do. It's called negging. Is that what the word negging?
Oh yeah.
I think that's what he was trying to do.
Ew.
And like she's a married woman, y'all. Sorry,
Also, like,
and he's a good looking man too.
I pray for any girl that would then go for someone who says no women is funny. Eh, ugh.
I
Like,
wouldn't know what I'd
everything,
do.
baby mama.
There was one girl though, and I wasn't. I was being cute, but at the same time, I was like, I would throw her like jokes, and she would kind of like like saying that's such a childish joke or whatever. You get and finally one time I'm like, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm praying for you. She goes, why? Like, you've lost your sense of humor. And she couldn't hold it, and she just started laughing at that moment. It's like, all right, cool. So if she does have it, she's playing hard to get. I get it now. No, if a girl did not have a sense of humor, I would not know what to do.
I'd be so sad.
I mean, I won't be bored because you know me, I can entertain myself for
Entertain
days.
yourself.
Oh yeah, I entertain
Best
myself for
entertainer in
days.
the world, right here.
I know, I'm funny. You're funny. I have a lot of good people that I can laugh with, but I just, you know, I just I would feel sad for her
It would be sad.
because if we had family, we had kids, me and my kids would be the most joyful kids, and she'd be like, "Why do? What's going on here?" Anyway, oh, okay. So we've gone 57 minutes. Of course, the first 7 minutes is music, so that doesn't count. So 50 minutes, Molly. Look at you. You give me some good stuff to work with
Like
here.
no time at all.
Oh no, that's what everyone keeps telling me. The time flies, especially when we're catching up. We're trying to just and eventually we need to do more. We need to do more. We're catching up. I am making plans to go back in November to Texas for a certain friends of ours wedding. See, I go back to weddings with people who remember me.
Yay!
But let's see now. The final question I'd like to ask all my guests: if you want to be found, Molly May Rockwell, where could people find you?
Everywhere.
All right, there you go.
I am at Molly May Rockwell. Just take out the spaces. Except on Twitter, it's Molly Rockwell because I made a branding mistake.
I did a branding mistake on my Twitter too. Like all the Hey Rockstars are spelled with the 5, and except for the Twitter, I just put H Rockstar. I'm like, oh man, I should have.
Oh,
No,
man.
My Twitter is Hey Rockstar with an S. That's what it was. Because even the Twitter, it's H Rockstar, but it still has the 5 in it. ROCK the number 5 S number 5 TAR. But my Twitter or my not my Twitter, my TikTok is Hey Rockstar, just HEROCKSTAR, and I'm like, I need to get back because even the website that I just bought is Rockstar with an S. So I'm like, it's not ready out. So don't go look it up. It's not ready. It's not ready. Don't go looking for Hey Rockstar. Don't even go looking for Josafat Emiliano because you're gonna find my old stuff back like whenever I went to sing in Orlando. That how old it was.
Good times.
I'm still like 80, 90 pounds heavier in those videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm almost at my college weight. I'm like maybe 20 pounds away from college weight. I still got some fluffy to go. That's sun. Here comes the sun.
I can't see you anymore, so let me know.
That's okay. That's why you gotta wear shades like me.
I know.
All right, so let's go with some of these comments that I've been ignoring to the very end. We already saw Greg's, and then Streaming Rainbow, when she said hi, y'all. Molly, welcome. She's a funny person. Okay, I didn't think we read this one. Streaming Rainbow says she's gonna lurk driving, but love you both. And those of you, I'm gonna give Streaming Rainbow a shout out. If you ever see her pop up on Twitch, give her a follow. And this is her rainbow poop with little hearts in it. Greg Ferguson's a minister in Little Rock, Arkansas, but he also is a coach and such, and he's on the show. Let's see what else.
Nice.
Oh, I know. We already read that one, and we read that one. Let's see. Yes, we read this one. Molly is multi-talented superstar. And Streaming Rainbow says they called it Time Recall. Oh, the movie, the short film Time Recall.
That's right. I was like, that was my big break, and it never came out.
That's a good. I still got. I remember I was also the on-set photographer, and I got some good shots from
You did. That's the only thing I got out of that movie was some great stills for my IMDb page.
Yeah. Let's see now. I saw her take on a troll on TikTok, and I was there for that. Oh, really? Did you do a live TikTok or something, or was it just a video?
It's not just one occasion. That's I can't stand for it.
Okay, she says she's chatting, and of course, Spectral Bonsai. He's another streamer on Twitch. Those of you who would like to check him out, Spectral Bonsai. He's another guy who usually he's later than Streaming Rainbow. If I'm still left editing, he'll pop up and I'll jump onto his stream phenomenal musician. This guy, when I first met him, He was a little bit quieter, but we went to a friend's uh, dinner, and he found a guitar, and he looked at it, and it turned out it was a left-handed guitar. And so he just kind of turned around. He sat there for a minute, just thinking, and then he picked it up and just started playing. He learned how to play left-handed right
Right.
there and then. And
Nice.
he told me later on, like, yeah, he had to think of it and reprogram in his brain. But then he's like, all right, if I do this, and he turned around and he was able to play it left-handed. Like, I was impressed. Like,
Amazing.
he's like one of them geniuses. It was in the comment section. Oh, I got you. Oh, the troll,
That happens.
in the hands. Oh,
I like to
well,
destroy people with my words.
and I'm the opposite. I like to build them up with
I'm
mine.
joking. I love to build people up, unless they first try to destroy me, and then there's no holding back.
One thing that I appreciate about you is that you're one of my fellow readers back in the
Mhm.
day. Are you reading anything good lately? Or have you been reading anything?
Yeah, actually, I for the first time in like a year, I've gotten more than one book read this month. It's been hard. Um, okay, but going back, you read Ready Player One, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Ready
What is
Player
your opinion
Two.
on? Well, yeah, what's your opinion on that one?
At first I was like, this is so slow, and then I was like, oh my gosh,
Really?
I
Okay,
liked it.
that's
Did you
good.
read it?
All right.
Did you read
Oh
it?
no, I haven't read it yet, but
Okay.
it's on my to do list. So have you heard of Chaos Walking, the trilogy?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I read the first book for it. It's called The Knife of Letting Go, and it read hard. It was a hard read for me to enter because they're the main character or just the characters, they speak in a narrative that's very broken and just kind of like, I don't want to say it's just it was hard to read because we're used to talking a certain way, and then when you meet people, they don't talk all weird and like it's just it's not southern or slow. It's just you can see it's a simpler way
Different
of
diet.
communicating, and it was hard for me to get into that book the first few chapters because just their dialogue was killing me.
Yeah.
And someone once made a comment that that's kind of how Forrest Gump the book read. You did know that was a book before it was a movie, right? I didn't know. And he goes, yes. So if you read that book, I'm not gonna say with the comment that my friend said, but like I laughed because it was funny. Maybe I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
But it was but it was hard. But once I got after like the first 3 pages, once my brain kind of accepted, okay, this is the way they talk, then I was able to get into the story. And I went all the way to the end of the first book. It's three different books, and I never got into the third one. I have the two books. I just haven't had a chance to read it because I got so much other stuff to do now
Yeah.
and not enough time to read. Well, now they released the I think Netflix or Hulu, one of those two, released the Chaos Walking
Mm,
series, and it's based on the three books. It's
nice.
got that kid who played Spider-Man, the last one.
Oh, Tom Holland?
Yeah, he's in it, and then the girl who played
Cool.
the Jedi, Raid, whatever her name was.
Yeah. Daisy.
Was that her name?
Daisy Ridley?
It could be. I don't know. I don't. I remember Holland Holidays.
I
I don't
think.
remember actors' names. That's how invested I was whenever I was trained to be an actor. I wouldn't memorize people's names, big people names. Besides
Another
Molly May Rockwell.
another series I'm reading right now. I'm only in the second book, but the Red Rising series.
Hmm.
It's super good. There's 7 of them. I'm on the second one, but it's about like people that live on Mars
Ooh,
and like the caste system. It's pretty cool. The first book is very like Hunger Gamesy,
gotcha.
but I've been told it gets very different. So
All right, we got Spectral Bonds. I said I very much relate to what Molly said about being shy, unless I'm around the right people. I guess he never shuts up around me, so I guess I'm the right
you're
people.
the right people.
Well, I'm easy to talk to. No, I'm kidding, Spectral. I don't want you to shut up around me. I actually like what you have to say. Uh, what else? That's it. I don't want to keep you too long because I'm sure your mom's like, "Where's Molly?"
I can hear. I think she brought the baby here because I can hear her in the next room.
So y'all, Molly's actually getting paid to be here. She's supposed to be babysitting. No, just kidding. I'm not sure if it's a paid gig or not. It
I think so.
doesn't matter. Oh, you hope so?
That's the next stage of my career.
All right. Oh, hey, oh, let's do it. Make money. Make money. I don't know where I was going with that, but other than that, Molly, What else was I gonna say? That's it. And you gave me some good stuff to work with. And I'll tell you more about the podcast as soon as this thing ends. But let me go and just say the goodbyes to my audience. For those of you who are just joining us because you're like, hey, I thought the show was supposed to start at 5:55. Welcome late to the party. We started a little bit early just because of time crunches,
Mama
but that's okay.
Diva.
But that's okay. We're gonna leave it up so you guys can watch it over and over again. There's some good stuff, so please re-watch it as soon as it's over. Hey Rockstar is part of. Oh, sorry. Hey Rockstar is part of the low budget production family. We're under their umbrella. Let me pull it up real quick. For those of you who don't know how to spell low budget productions, because there is a duck in the name. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, check them out. They are an umbrella of podcasters who just they have great stories, they have entertaining stories, they have educational stories. If you like podcasts, check them out. There's many there, you'll probably find something to your liking. And if you are a podcaster or interested in starting a podcast, reach out to us. Reach out to Low Budget Productions. We'll take your hand, we'll walk you, we'll show you the mistakes we made, and hopefully you won't make those mistakes so that you can then share and relate your story to the world. I can't right now. I also want to give a shout out to the coffee that I'm going to start affiliating, Coast Coffee Roasters. I'm going to start. They're going to start doing affiliations with me, but we'll have some more professional for them for next time. Other than that, thank you once again, Molly, for being here, and thank you all of you who have tuned in to watch and listen. I don't know what else to say. Well, all the way from Texas and all the way from Tennessee, this has been episode 34, an interview with a Rockstar featuring Molly May Rockwell. And this is Hey Rockstar. So all I say now, go ahead and take all this value that you found, apply it to your everyday disciplines so that you can then go and become the rock star of your industry. So until next time, thank you once again for letting us into your homes. Thank you for letting us into your cars. But most importantly, thank you for letting us into your hearts. Again, until next time, much love.